My dear friend, every year, more than 3 million older adults in the U.S. end up in the emergency room because of an unexpected fall. But what troubles me most is this. Most of these accidents are entirely preventable if we truly understand the real cause. I remember Mr. Edward, 74 years old, once a lively tour guide full of energy. Within just 6 months, he fell 3 times. Not because of illness, not because of physical weakness, but because of small mistakes that almost every older person easily makes. It's those subtle, quiet changes in the body and in daily habits that slowly wear down our balance, silently, until something happens. Fortunately, after recognizing 5 seemingly harmless mistakes and adjusting each habit one by one, Mr. Edward hasn't had a single fall in over 2 years. What he did required no medication, no special equipment, just a little accurate understanding and timely action. And that's exactly what I want to share with you in today's video. Especially mistake number 4. Something that 87% of older adults still do every day without realizing it's silently destroying their balance. If you're still watching this video, I'm truly glad. It means you care deeply about your own health or the health of someone you love. Please leave a comment to tell me your name and where you're watching from. I always want to know who I'm really talking to. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want to keep receiving simple, practical tips that can make a real difference in your health as you age. Now, let's begin with the first mistake. Something that might be sitting right now in your medicine cabinet. Mistake number 1. Skipping doses or taking medication incorrectly. In treating high blood pressure, medication is a very important tool, but it only works if used properly and consistently. Unfortunately, this is the most common mistake I see in many older patients. They skip doses. They take their pills at the wrong time, or they stop taking their medication on their own once their blood pressure seems normal. I understand the reasons behind these actions. Some people forget due to memory decline. Some feel fine and assume they no longer need the medicine. Others worry about side effects or try to save money by splitting pills or taking them every other day. But do you know something? All of these seemingly reasonable choices can cause your blood pressure to fluctuate unpredictably, silently damaging your blood vessels, your heart, and your kidneys, long before you ever feel anything is wrong. Blood pressure medication doesn't bring noticeable relief right away, and that's exactly why many people underestimate its importance. But in fact, when your readings look normal, that's often a sign the medication is working, not a reason to stop taking it. If you've ever skipped a dose because you forgot, try setting a fixed routine. Take your medication at the same time each day, use a weekly pill box, set an alarm, or link it to an existing habit, like after breakfast or before brushing your teeth. If you experience side effects, don't suffer in silence or stop the medication on your own. Talk to your doctor. There are often alternative drugs or dosage adjustments that can work better, feel safer, and be easier on your body. And if cost is the issue, don't be afraid to bring that up. There are many support programs, generic versions, or prescription adjustments that can help you save significantly while still maintaining the same treatment effect. Managing blood pressure is a long-term journey. There are no shortcuts, but it begins with small, consistent steps. A pill taken on time, a habit practiced every day, and a serious attitude toward your own cardiovascular health. The second mistake I want to share, just as quiet and dangerous, comes from something that happens right at your dining table. My dear friend, if you're still watching this video at this point, I'm truly glad, because it shows you're taking your health seriously. Let me know you're still with me by typing the number 1 in the comments below. That way, I know I'm not on this journey alone. Mistake number 2, not controlling hidden sodium in food. Many older adults often think, I don't eat salty food. I don't use much salt. But in reality, most of the sodium that harms your blood pressure doesn't come from the salt you sprinkle on your food. It comes from familiar, store-bought items you use every day. I'm talking about things like bread, canned soups, cheese, frozen meals, sauces, and even breakfast cereals or low-fat cookies. All of these can contain surprisingly high levels of sodium, not just for flavor, but also for preservation, texture, and enhanced taste. And after the age of 60, your body no longer filters sodium as efficiently as before. Even a moderate amount of sodium can cause fluid retention, increase pressure on artery walls, and make your blood pressure spike without warning. This is something I always advise my patients. Start reading food labels. If a single serving contains more than 140 milligrams of sodium, think twice. Don't just look at words like low-fat or healthy. Many of those products still hide a lot of salt. You can also apply a few simple but effective strategies. Rinse canned foods like beans, corn, or pickles to reduce excess sodium. Cook more meals at home and season them with natural ingredients like lemon, garlic, pepper, ginger, or fresh herbs instead of salt. And prioritize fresh, unprocessed foods whenever possible. At first, things may taste a bit bland, but trust me, after just a few weeks, your taste buds will adjust, and then you'll begin to truly notice the natural flavors of vegetables, meats, and spices, the way they're meant to be, without being masked by salt. Reducing sodium doesn't mean eating bland food or losing joy at the table. It simply means making more mindful choices to protect your blood vessels, your heart, and even your memory. Up next, we'll move to mistake number 3, one that's often overlooked because it doesn't cause any obvious sensation: not monitoring your blood pressure regularly at home. Mistake number 3, not monitoring your blood pressure regularly at home. There's one thing I always emphasize to older patients. Blood pressure is not something you can feel until it's already too late. You might feel fine, move around as usual, even feel confident that you're in control. Meanwhile, your blood pressure could be quietly rising each day, placing strain on your heart, blood vessels, and brain, all in complete silence. And if you only check your blood pressure during doctor visits, maybe once every few months, then you're only seeing a random snapshot, not the full picture of your condition. I always encourage my patients: measure your blood pressure at home, regularly, correctly, and make it part of your daily routine. You don't need complex medical equipment. Modern digital monitors are very easy to use, with large screens, built-in memory, and accurate enough for regular tracking. What matters most is measuring it the right way. Sit and rest for 5 minutes before taking a reading. Sit upright with your back supported and feet flat on the floor. Don't cross your legs. Rest your arm at heart level, and don't talk during the reading. Pick a consistent time each day, for example, right after waking up or before going to bed. And make sure to record your results in a notebook or on an app so you and your doctor can see trends over time, instead of relying on scattered, isolated numbers. I understand. Some people are hesitant to monitor their blood pressure because they're afraid of seeing a bad number and feeling more anxious. But not measuring it doesn't make the problem go away. In fact, it only allows the risk to grow silently without your awareness. Checking your blood pressure at home is how you have a daily conversation with your body. It helps you stay calm, proactive, and in control, instead of reacting only when things go too far. And now, let's move on to a factor that's often overlooked, but has a deep impact on both your cardiovascular health and your sleep: chronic stress that isn't properly managed or released. If you're still here, thank you for listening to something that may seem small, but could one day save your life. Leave the number 3 in the comments to let me know we're still walking this journey together. Mistake number 4, letting chronic stress go unmanaged. In my experience working with older adults, I've noticed something that's often overlooked: the real impact of stress on blood pressure. Many people focus on their diet, exercise, or medications, but they underestimate the role of emotional health. In reality, stress, even though it doesn't cause physical pain, can trigger a series of physiological reactions that silently raise your blood pressure every single day. When you're stressed, your body releases hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These chemicals cause your blood vessels to tighten, your heart rate to increase, and your blood pressure to rise temporarily. And that's completely normal. But if this stress becomes a daily state, your body starts to stay in alert mode, keeping your heart and blood vessels working harder than they should, without the rest they need. Over time, this creates a form of silent damage to your cardiovascular system, and medication alone may not be enough to undo it. What makes this dangerous is that stress in older adults often doesn't show up clearly. It's not always panic or anger. Instead, it appears as subtle but persistent symptoms: trouble sleeping, fatigue, poor appetite, mild chest tightness, or simply a heavy feeling when starting the day. The good news is that managing stress doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. What matters most is creating small moments of pause throughout the day. Moments that allow your nervous system to cool down and naturally reset. A slow walk in the park, a few minutes of deep breathing before meals, writing a few lines of gratitude in a journal, listening to soft music, or having an honest conversation with someone you trust. Any of these can help bring you back into balance. When those small actions are practiced daily, your body starts to respond. You'll sleep better, feel more relaxed, and more importantly, your blood pressure will begin to stabilize naturally without needing to rely so heavily on medication. And if you've been feeling exhausted for a long time, don't keep it inside. Talk to someone, a loved one, your doctor, or someone who knows how to listen. Sometimes, that alone can be the first step toward healing, both physically and emotionally. Up next, we'll talk about another quiet mistake: the belief that too much rest is always good for your heart, even when your body is moving less and sitting more than it should. Mistake number 5: lack of physical activity. Many older adults believe that the more they rest, the healthier their heart will be. That sounds reasonable, especially when the body begins to show signs of fatigue, joint pain, or fear of falling. But in reality, the opposite is true. When you sit for too long and move too little, your heart has to work harder just to keep blood flowing properly. And that's when your blood pressure begins to quietly rise, without you even noticing it. When you stay physically active on a regular basis, your heart becomes stronger. Each heartbeat becomes more efficient, reducing the pressure on your blood vessels. Physical movement also improves circulation, reduces inflammation, helps control weight, and lowers stress, all of which are directly beneficial for managing blood pressure. On the other hand, a sedentary lifestyle makes the body lose its flexibility. Circulation slows down, and the pressure inside your vascular system gradually builds up. I know, not everyone can exercise like they did when they were younger. But staying active doesn't have to mean intense workouts. Even gentle, consistent movements, like walking around the house, stretching in the morning, gardening, or doing simple arm and leg exercises from a chair, are enough to keep the heart functioning steadily. Even something as simple as standing up every 30 minutes to walk a few steps, stretch your legs, or roll your shoulders can make a noticeable difference in your blood flow. What matters most is not how hard you move, but whether you keep the habit of moving every day. Because when your body stays in motion, it sends a positive signal to your heart. It reminds you that you're still active, still in control, still living fully. And that mindset plays a powerful role in keeping your blood pressure stable. If you're unsure where to begin, talk to your doctor or a physical therapist. They can help you create a plan that suits your current physical condition. The goal isn't to become an athlete, but to maintain your independence, preserve your balance, and help your heart serve you strongly for many years to come. Up next, we'll take a look at mistake number 6: which has to do with two drinks that may seem harmless in daily life: coffee and alcohol. Mistake number 6, overusing caffeine or alcohol. During consultations, when I ask about dietary habits, many people often say, "I only have 1 cup of coffee in the morning," or "Sometimes I drink a glass of wine at night to help me sleep. It's nothing serious." But in reality, caffeine and alcohol, even in small amounts as part of daily habits, can have a significant impact on blood pressure, especially in people over 60. Caffeine is a stimulant. When you drink coffee, strong tea, energy drinks, or even eat chocolate, caffeine causes blood vessels to constrict and the heart rate to increase temporarily, raising your blood pressure without you even realizing it. For some people, this effect is mild and short-lived. But for older adults, especially those who already have hypertension or are sensitive to stimulants, even a small amount of caffeine can cause blood pressure fluctuations that last for hours. What's important to understand is that the effect of caffeine is not the same for everyone. Some people can drink 2 cups of coffee without any issue, while others may feel jittery, lightheaded, or notice a rapid heartbeat after just half a cup. So if you consume caffeine regularly, pay attention to how your body responds. Measuring your blood pressure before and after drinking coffee can help you see the connection more clearly. With alcohol, the story is different. In low doses, it may help you feel temporarily relaxed. But if consumed frequently or more than 1 unit per day, alcohol begins to raise your blood pressure for longer periods, negatively affects your sleep, causes dehydration, leads to weight gain, and most importantly, reduces the effectiveness of your blood pressure medication. Many of my patients maintain the habit of drinking wine every evening to help them sleep, but they don't understand why their blood pressure remains unstable, even though they've been following their medication plan. Older adults metabolize caffeine and alcohol more slowly, meaning the side effects last longer and accumulate over time. On top of that, many people are also taking medications for blood pressure, diabetes, osteoporosis, or heart disease, and alcohol can dangerously interact with many of these drugs. The good news is you don't need to completely give up familiar habits. Just slowly reduce the amount. Choose decaf options. Replace wine with herbal tea, warm lemon water, or plain water infused with fresh fruit, and you'll start to notice your body feels better, your sleep improves, and your blood pressure becomes more stable, naturally. In the end, managing blood pressure isn't about forcing yourself to live a joyless life. It's about knowing what your body needs, understanding how it reacts, and adjusting small choices in ways that support your long-term health. And finally, there's one more mistake that many people make. Even when they're doing everything else right, they don't fully communicate with their doctor or keep in regular contact with their care team. We'll talk more about that right after this. Mistake number 7. Not communicating regularly with your doctor or care team. In managing high blood pressure, medication, diet, and lifestyle are just 3 parts of the picture. The 4th part, and just as important, is maintaining honest, regular communication with your doctor or healthcare team. Unfortunately, this is something many older adults often overlook. I've met many patients who come in for their routine follow-up with their blood pressure log, prescription list, and everything seemingly in order. But when I ask deeper questions about how they feel on the medication, how they're sleeping, or if they've noticed any mild symptoms lately, that's when I find out they've been silently enduring discomfort for weeks or even months without saying a word. Some are afraid of bothering the doctor or worry about being seen as overly anxious. Others simply think, "It's probably nothing, I'll just tough it out." But that silence can make treatment far less effective. Blood pressure is a constantly shifting condition, influenced by sleep, diet, stress, weather, other medications, and even your emotional state. If your doctor only sees a small slice of the picture, they can't make fully informed decisions for your whole body. Effective communication doesn't need to be complicated. You don't have to remember every detail. Just bring your blood pressure log, jot down any unusual events, a moment of dizziness, a few nights of poor sleep, or a new supplement you've started taking. Even things that seem unrelated, like sadness, lack of interest, or feelings of loneliness, can directly affect your blood pressure, and your doctor needs to know to guide you in the right way. If mobility is an issue, or you're uncomfortable going to the clinic, remember that many places now offer telehealth appointments. A short phone call can help ease your concerns, and more importantly, keep your treatment plan accurate and up to date with how your body is doing in real time. You are not alone in this journey, and the more openly you share, the better your doctor can understand you and care for you. Stable blood pressure doesn't come from silently pushing through. It comes from real collaboration between you and the people who genuinely want to help you live well. And that's the final mistake, and also a gentle reminder I want to leave you with. Speak up, ask questions, share even the smallest details. Health isn't something to deal with later. It needs attention now, starting from the little things that may seem unimportant. My dear friends, we've just gone through the 7 most common mistakes that older adults often make when trying to manage high blood pressure. From taking medication incorrectly, not controlling sodium in your diet, failing to monitor blood pressure regularly, letting stress linger, lacking physical activity, overusing caffeine and alcohol, to not communicating openly with your doctor. As you can see, no mistake is too serious if it's recognized in time, and no mistake is beyond correction as long as you're willing to start again, one small step at a time in the right direction. Blood pressure isn't just about numbers on a machine. It's the result of everything: how you eat, sleep, breathe, move, feel, and even how you take care of your relationship with your own body. You don't need to change everything all at once. Just choose one small, specific, and practical thing to start with. Today, maybe it's setting an alarm to take your medication on time, or beginning to measure your blood pressure every morning after waking up, or simply cutting back on 1 teaspoon of salt at dinner tonight. Those small changes, when maintained, will lead to a more stable body, a healthier heart, and a more peaceful life. And if you found today's video helpful, don't hesitate to hit the like button, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss more in-depth content on senior health that I'll continue to bring to you. I truly believe, as long as we walk this journey together, one step at a time, it's never too late to begin again.